Alright, here at the Panteezy. This is Gabe, Londo Crafty Review, here for another review. Hope you guys enjoy it. Today we chose a beer coming out of Durango, Colorado. It's from Ska Brewing Company, and it's their Pinstripe Red Ale. And this, I'm kind of wanting to try this for a while. I haven't had any of their beers, to be honest with you. Gabe's a little familiar with the brewing company. But again, trying to get away from some of the stuff that we've done. For me, this is a blind taste test. Gabe has actually had this before.
Yeah, it was a while ago. I couldn't tell you exactly remembering how it was.
Well, we're going to dip back into this and give us our, give you our honest opinion. 5.2 on the ABU, ABV. Why do I keep doing that, man?
Maybe I had too many already.
Too many. 5.2 on the ABV and 30 on the IBU. This is a gold medal winner, and it has caramel malts, Liberty hops, and good. We've been mentioning some of the pairings. You want to talk about some of the pairings for this one?
Yeah, one of the things coming up here, and actually I read an article recently in Beer Advocate that was talking about how beer is now starting to be seen on the same level as wine. Where with wine, for you wine drinkers out there, you drink a red wine with like certain meats and so on, right? So now they're starting to do the same thing with beer, or they have been, but it's starting to become more popular with, if you're going to have this style of beer, these are the foods you should have that'll help complement the food and help complement the beer itself, which is great because beer with the variety of beers out there and the variety of food out there, why the hell not?
Well, it's going to make your whole dining and beer experience all meld into one and become that's if you're going to sit down at a restaurant and they have a beer and you've had it and you've looked up on it or you even know that it's a good pairing for the meal you're going to have. Why not make it a big,
get your money's worth.
Exactly, and make it very enjoyable for yourselves.
So what type of pairings were they saying with the red ale?
For the pairings, they're going to go with a good old-fashioned cheeseburger is what they're referencing. And for us out here in the Southwest, Mexican food. So anytime that you would have this here and want to give it a try and compare the beer with the food, they're saying those two types of meals will go really well with this. These guys have been brewing since 1995. I joined it up with a couple of buddies that basically were sitting there, wanted to have an abundance of beer, decided to make their own, and at the same time set on our mission to make really good beer. So, again, we're going to give Ska Brewing a try. We're going to pop these open. They're saying it's going to be a copper penny color is what they're going to say.
And I'm kind of doing a cardinal sin here, but I'm cool with it, is pouring one state's beer into another state's glass. So this is a beer from Colorado, yet I'm pouring it into a beer glass from San Diego. Was recently in San Diego a few weeks back, and I just wanted to give a quick shout out here. AleSmith, which is a phenomenal brewery in San Diego. I'd been there once before, about a year ago, but like I said, went back a few weeks ago. Awesome establishment. People know their beers. Actually, one of their IPAs actually started to introduce my wife, who's not an IPA drinker in any way, started getting her into IPAs. So
anytime you can visit,
out to them.
Anytime you can visit a brewery, and for someone that's not very familiar with the style of beer, for them to buy into it, that says a lot about them, because I know that she has tried different ones before, and everybody gets that hot bitter beer face.
It just takes a good one, right?
That's all it takes, man. Keep trying it. You're gonna find one you like. Trust me, you will find one you like. That's exactly how it came to be for me.
Yep. And then a real quick shout out out of Riverside, California, Inland Empire. A little bit of a smaller brewery, but man, those guys are awesome guys. They just take a lot of pride in what they do. They have some really good. I had a peanut butter stout, like a Reese's peanut butter stout there when I was there.
Sounds good.
Really good mix. It's a really cool brewery. If you're ever in Riverside, hit up Inland Empire. Next time you're in San Diego, hit up AleSmith. You won't go wrong. But anyway, not to take away.
One quick point though, in talking about mixing the cardinal sin that you referenced, really, it doesn't matter, because talking with the people we've been able to come to meet in the past few months, the thing about craft beer and in the culture, everybody is not to compete with everybody. In my opinion, that's the impression I've gotten. They're about what are you doing, what are you guys doing to make it better, and they're all gathered. It's like a big brainstorm.
It's a family.
It's exactly it, and they just want to help somebody else be successful and to make good beer, because ultimately, if you're passionate about it, that's what you're passionate about, is making a good product for people to enjoy, and they're willing to share their ideas and their experiences with it. And that's the impression I've gotten with everybody that I've talked to.
Definitely. When we were at Santan, for those of you that saw the Santan review of Devil's Ale, And the manager there was telling us, hey, have you guys gone to check out Old World Brewing, which is in Phoenix yet? Hey, have you guys checked out North Mountain Brewing? Try this beer when the next time they're there. And even when we went to the American Beer Festival in Scottsdale a few weeks back, a lot of the guys were like, oh, you should go try, this brewery. They have a good stout, or they have a good ale, or pale ale, or something. So just to round out what you're saying, I mean, it is a really good community. But again, there's so many varieties of beers, so many different styles that you're not going to step on anybody's toes. Nobody's pale ales are the same. So they can make their own variations of it, and that's what makes craft beer so great.
Right. So again, Pinstripe Red Ale. Here we go.
You got a red flavor to it. You got that dark copper
color that
almost like an
they're
amber.
advertising. Yep. Smells good.
Yeah.
Actually, you can smell the caramel in it, huh?
Yeah, you definitely smell caramel right off the nose there.
Ooh, that's very clean.
Oh yeah.
That's actually really good.
Yeah.
You get that little sweetness at the back, but it's more just to mellow everything out. It's not like sweet that you would expect, some of the other halves that we tried.
Yeah, and I got to be honest, before I didn't really do my research on Pinstripe. I know you did. When I saw 30 on the IBU scale, I was like, oh man, this is going to probably be a really light, really almost too mild of a taste for me. But I think that caramel malt adds a little bit of a fullness to it. It's not bitter. Not bitter in any way.
Oh, no.
But it does add like a full mouthful flavor, almost like a breading type of like a bread flavor to it with a little bit of a caramel punch. Really good. Man, I really like that. I can see too, talking about the food pairings, whether it's like a good old cheeseburger or maybe some, red sauce enchiladas or something like that.
Yep.
I can see where it is now because of that. That full flavor that you get from it. I can see pairing that too with some other meals too. Like even a good steak or something like that might be pretty good.
I honestly can drink this with whatever I'm eating.
This will be the meal.
This sounds good. Actually, this is, again, dipping into something I haven't really got into. Ales, yes. Red ales, no.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'm always hesitant. You never know what you're going to crack into. Great job, Ska Brewing. I mean, you kind of won me over here. This is one that I'm definitely going to... I'm gonna buy more of these. I can tell you that.
All right, so let's get to it. On a scale of 1 to 5.
1 to 5. I mean, shoot. Now, I mean, this is one that I guess everybody's got to kind of live up to. I'll give it a solid 4.5. I got to start somewhere. There's always room for everybody. Somebody to kind of take Ska over. But this is the medium line for me. I'll give it a good 4.5. It's something I'm gonna try again.
Yep.
What about you?
I'd second that. I'd second it. Again, I'm anybody who's seen these reviews, I'll say it every time. I'm an IPA drinker. I love IPAs. But when I try to introduce beers to people or people that might think they can take an IPA, I try to find something else that might be, we've used it a few times, gateway
IPA
beer, right?
Yep.
I think this is a good start to that.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't fall in the same category with an abundance of hops that you would expect. But that full of flavor, that's kind of like the training wheels you would put on somebody trying to get them into IPAs.
I see where you're going.
Definitely there. So if you have more of a bold appetite, maybe more of like a leather tongue type of thing, definitely a beer you should try. So 4.5.
Yeah, I mean, again, some of the beers that we've had in the past, the lighter beers, this is a gradual graduation to it. And again, is this something you want to get into IPAs? This is the stepping stone for that. I totally agree with Gabe.
So would you tap it? That's the ultimate question.
Wow, that's a tough one. Given my experience today, I'd tap the beer. I'd tap the shit out of this beer. Honestly, I mean, it's not what I expected, and it is full flavored, and it's not overly bitter, and it's not. And I'm not saying overly bitter. You get a slight bite, but it's very. You get that little caramel note to it, and you can smell it. I like the way they brought it to your nose and they brought it to your palate, because sometimes you miss it on either one of those. This is a well-rounded beer. I really like it. What about you?
Same. I definitely would tap it. And I'm not, we've talked about this already, stepping into new territory, trying styles. I'm not a big red ale fan. I've had some good ones, but nothing that I'll go searching for a brewery and find. If I see this, or a brewery and get, if I see this in a brewery and I want something a little different than what I'm usually doing, I definitely pick it up.
Feel comfortable?
So I tap it.
Awesome.
I tap it.
Great. I mean, kind of hear what Gabe was just mentioning. Anytime you go out to an establishment, whether or not you're into crafts or any other types of beers, you're always going to look at their beer list. What can I drink tonight? What are they going to have that's going to draw me to purchase a beer tonight? If they didn't have anything else and they had a Pinstripe, I'd be drinking Pinstripe that night. That's kind of the relationship that you're just mentioning as far as that goes. But great beer, Ska Brewing out of Durango, California. Great job.
Colorado.
Durango, Colorado. What did I say?
California. Got mixed up with the glasses.
Is there a Durango, California?
Yeah, maybe.
Probably. Anyways, great job out there, guys. Hope to go up there and visit you. Colorado's got a great history for the craft beer, culture. But again, Londo, Gabe, Crafty Review. Remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And go out and buy us Pinstripe if you see it in your stores.
Don't forget your growlers.
Don't forget your growler. We'll see you next time. Cheers.